Madden football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Commanders and the Ravens, all that and more, coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Washington Commanders. So it all comes down to this. We are ready, and Super Bowl 58 off and running from New Orleans. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of the Super Bowl will begin at the 25. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. That ball caught, it's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one, and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he'll get this down to about the 31-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Wins to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Sly able to put this one through, and it's 3-0 Washington. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into it a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A very solid gain of 27.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Wentz. This one left side caught by Gibson. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel from 10 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Joey Sly on for the extra point. He's got it, and now it's a 10-0 lead here in the opening quarter. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
At the 24-yard line.
Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of people are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on third down. Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Wentz. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
A gain of 4 yards. That's good for Commanders. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Wentz now on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And 7 at the 39-yard line.
From the 39, Wentz, and he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Patrick Queen showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the check up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second and 9 now from the 21. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. The play fake. Here's Jackson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
And the ball on the 30. Here's second and 4. A give up the middle to Dobbins. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now it's Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes our score 17-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Jackson from the shotgun. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wentz going to throw. And he coughed it up. But it looked like Washington got it back, and indeed they did. It remains Commanders football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Second and 8 coming up. Wentz. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Commanders continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
pass here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. This time they stay on the ground, and that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. From the end zone, here comes Eskridge.
Dwayne Eskridge on the return. Washington will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now wins. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Wentz now to throw. He finds Robinson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Wentz now on first down. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Second down and a run by Robinson. Pushes past him. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 42 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Here's Wentz to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Play action. Now Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he is going to lose yardage here. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On second down, it's Edwards. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defense in front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They go play action with Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 32-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Tucker now for the extra point. He's got it, and the score's now 27-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Moore. He will return it. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football, because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Wentz. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Wentz looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Commanders will extend their third quarter lead here in the Super Bowl.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
The option, here's Edwards. And space tough to come by there. So get maybe a yard to the 37.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? Just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 44, Jackson. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18.
That's another Baltimore 1st down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Tucker with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, it's Eskridge, and he'll bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they have been the better of the 2 sides to this point with a 2-score lead, 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10. Calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Robinson with another carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Washington on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And they will stop him short. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Here's his dress way now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we're at the time in this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Chase Young, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
It's a gain of 28 yards. And the Baltimore.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down.
That's good for Baltimore. 4th down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Ronnie Harrison that time able to make the tackle.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 27, Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
3rd and long.
But 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 13-yard line. Throw right side here taken in by Bateman. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Jackson. Along the sideline, finding Andrews for the completion. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll run here with Edwards. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. That is likely the final play of this game, and no better feeling, I would imagine, than taking a knee to wrap up the Super Bowl.
Culminates everything. The championship is theirs. And just think, the last play they had in practice before this game began was doing this, practicing taking a knee and winning a Super Bowl.
And they get to do just that. They did it. The Washington Commanders, Super Bowl champions. And their storied franchise will once again possess the Lombardi Trophy. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.